Hey everyone, it's Miss M. Today we are going to be looking at volume and surface area of pyramids and cones. Let's first start with volume. Volume of pyramids and cones is equal to 1/3 times the base area times the height. Okay, so let's first look at our square and rectangular pyramids. Base area of a square and a rectangle is length times width. So you'll use the formula 1/3 times length times width times the height. And we know base area for a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. So for triangular pyramids, we'll use the formula 1/3 times 1/2 times base times height times the height. You have to be careful here because these two heights are different. The height in the base area has to do with the height of the base, whereas the times the height means the height of the whole pyramid. And cones, we know, have a circular base, so the base area is pi r squared. So for cone, we're going to use 1/3 times pi times the radius squared times the height. Let's look at an example of finding the volume of a pyramid. So we know we're going to use the formula 1/3 times the base area times the height. So if we're looking at this pyramid, we have a rectangular pyramid. So our base area is going to be length times width. So the volume is going to equal 1/3 times the length, which is 6, times the width, which is 4.5, and then times the height, which is 8. Put that into your calculator. We get 72 centimeters cubed. In our next example, we want to find the height of a pyramid given its volume and the area of the base. Okay, so again, we're looking at a rectangular pyramid. So let's use volume equals 1/3 times length times width times the height. And let's plug in what we know here. It gives us the volume is 260, so we plug that in for V, equals 1/3. The length is 15, the width is 8, and we want to solve for height, which is h. So 1/3 times 15 times 8 equals 40. And to get h by itself, we're going to divide by 40 on both sides. So we get the height is equal to 6.5 inches. Our next example is finding the volume of a cone. So volume for a cone is 1/3 times the base area times the height. So let's plug in. We have 1/3 times base area, which is pi r squared, so 3.14 times the radius, which is 3 squared, then times the height, which is 7. Plug it into your calculator and round to the nearest tenth. We get the volume of this cone rounded to the nearest tenth is 65.9 centimeters cubed. Let's look at one more volume example. We want to find the radius of a cone given its volume and height. All right, so let's start with volume equals 1/3 base area times height. Remember cone, the base is a circle, so the base area is pi r squared. We're given volume, so plug in for V, 2009.6 equals 1/3 times pi. We don't know what the radius is, so r squared times the height is 30. Okay? 1/3 times 3.14 times 30 equals 31.4. To get r by itself, we're going to divide by 31.4 on both sides. We get r squared is equal to 64. Now, r isn't by itself yet. We have r squared. So to get r by itself, we want to take the square root of both sides. And the square root of 64 is 8. So the radius is equal to 8 inches. All right, now let's take a look at surface area. So we're only going to do surface area of cones. The surface area, again, is equal to the base area. So that's area of the base, which is a circle, plus the lateral surface. Okay, and lateral surface is the curved surface of the cone. So base area, pi r squared because we have a circle, plus the lateral surface, which is pi times the radius times the slant height. Make sure you're looking at slant height, which is here, and not regular height. Okay, now let's go ahead and find the surface area of this specific cone. So plug in 3.14 times the radius, which is 5, squared plus 3.14 times 5 times the slant height, which is 15. Plug it into the calculator. We get 314 centimeters squared. And our last example. Find the slant height of a cone given its radius and area of the curved surface. So we're just given curved surface, so we're just going to use the curved surface part of the formula, which is pi times the radius times the slant height. Okay, the curved surface is 159 equals 3.14 times the radius, which is 4, and we're looking for slant height. 3.14 times 4 is 12.56. Divide both sides by 12.56. And we're given the slant height is equal to 12.7 centimeters when we round to the nearest tenth. And our video is complete for today.